Okay, this is a subject that I've had a lot of issues with, and I still do. And that's trust and the pain of betrayal. Trusting people, especially in nowadays times, it's hard to trust people. I trust them to a point until they, it's hard to say, until they prove to me that they are trustworthy. Because it's hard, it is really hard today to trust people. Even family, it's hard to do that. But I'm going to go over trust and the pain of betrayal. I know everybody's been betrayed one way or the other. The Bible's message about trusting others is kind of summed up by King David. Psalm 118:8. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. Oh yeah. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes. Oh yeah. I don't trust the government at all. I mean, not at all. They're a bunch of liars. That's my personal opinion. David spoke from experience, having been betrayed many times by those close to him, instead of becoming bitter or regarding all people as inherently untrustworthy and not worth his time. He learned and taught a simple truth. People will fail us, but we can always trust in God. People are going to fail us. No getting around it. We live in the flesh, which is another one I need to do. Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. David's son, King Solomon, learned that lesson well and added to it, saying that it's better to trust God than to trust our own minds. But we still need to trust one another, even though there is no command that we must trust others. It's part of being human and living in society. Moreover, we want to trust each other. Trusting others is almost inseparable from loving others. True intimacy can only be achieved through honesty and trust. But how do we overcome the fear that arises when the memory of a past betrayals, which we have all experienced? What does the Bible say about trusting others after we've been hurt? Trusting God is the first most important step. When we know that no matter what men do to us, God will always be there, faithful and true and trustworthy, then it is easier to handle betrayal or disappointments. Most of the time. I still have problems with that. When we are hurt after trusting others, forgiveness is in order. As Jesus told Peter, if a brother sins against you 77 times a day and comes up back ask for forgiveness, you should forgive them. If a person repeatedly betrays all our trust unrepentantly, we are not commanded to continue to associate with them or to make ourselves vulnerable to them. We do not have to continue to associate with the abuser. However, the Bible is clear that we should forgive those who are sorry for the hurts that they caused us, even when those hurts are betrayal or exploited trust. After Jesus made this point, he emphasized the lesson with the parable of the servant who was forgiven a huge debt. Then he went out and immediately became judgmental and cruel with another servant that owed him a little bit of debt. The heartless actions of that unmerciful servant should remind us of our need to forgive. We have been forgiven by God a much greater debt than anything other people could owe to us. Finally, as we learn to trust others, we should strive to be trustworthy ourselves. This is good and godly. Proverbs 3:29. Devise not evil against thy neighbor, seeing he dwelleth securely by thee. This means that we should be a safe place for others. And your neighbor, you should make sure he's safe. That's what this is saying here. Proverbs 11:13. A talebearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of faithful spirit concealeth the matter. This passage states that anything secret anybody tells us should be kept in confidence and not blabbed all over the place. What is said in confidence should remain in confidence. But there's a lot of gossipers out there that love to take this stuff and just spread it around. Proverbs 12:22. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. We should always be known for our honesty and refrain from all lies, even the little lies. I ain't there yet. I'm me. I ain't going to say something to somebody that's going to hurt their feelings, even though it's true, And that's a little lie. Well, let's go on. Proverbs 17:17. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. This passage states that we should have a willingness to suffer for a friend. A friend's really bad in need, to be there for him. Ephesians 4:4. Therefore, the prisoner of the Lord beseech ye that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith you are called, with all lowliness and meekness, with longsuffering, forbearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. Everyone goes through hard times. And we need our friendships even more when the sun's not shining and when we're going through those times. At times, we all let others down. But we should always strive to walk in a manner worthy. Oh, excuse me here. Had a critter running up my leg. A little tick. Okay, where was I? Everyone goes through hard times. We need our friendships even more when the sun is not shining. At times we all let others down, but we should always strive to walk in a manner worthy of our calling to which you have been called, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love. Like I said, a lot of times that's easier said than done. How can I overcome the pain of betrayal? Betrayal is a gross violation of trust. It can be one of the most devastating forms of pain inflicted upon a human being. The suffering of betrayal is often magnified by a sense of vulnerability and exposure. For many, the pain of betrayal is worse than physical violence, deceit, or prejudice. Betrayal destroys the foundation of trust. King David was no stranger to betrayal. Psalms 55:22-14 is, if any enemy were insulting me, I could endure that. If a foe were raising himself against me, I can hide from him. But it is you, a man like myself, my companion, my close friend, with whom I once enjoyed sweet fellowship as we walked with the throng at the house of God. The closer the relationship, the greater the pain of betrayal. Have no problem. Somebody that don't like me come against me, no big deal. But when somebody has been close and they betray you, that's where it really hurts. The closer the relationship, the greater the pain of betrayal. Jesus knew the pain of betrayal firsthand. The worst, most treacherous betrayal of all time was Jesus knew the pain of betrayal firsthand. Okay, Judas' betrayal of Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. But Jesus did not become vindictive, bitter, or angry. Just the opposite. After receiving the traitor's kiss, Jesus addressed Judas as friend. That'd be hard to do. Despite the pain, there is a way we can overcome betrayal. The power comes directly from God and the strength of forgiveness. After David laments broken trust in Psalm 55, he provides a clue to how to overcome the pain. Psalm 55:16. As for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me. Evening, and morning, and at noon will I pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. The first key is to cry out to God. Though we may want to strike out at the betrayer, we need to take our cause to the Lord. 1 Peter 3:9. Not rendering evil for evil, or railing for railing, but contrariwise blessing, knowing that you are thereunto called, but you should inherit a blessing. Another key is overcome the pain of betrayal, to remember Jesus' example. Our sinful nature impels us to repay evil with evil, but Jesus taught us otherwise. Matthew 5:39 and Matthew 5:44. But I say unto you that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. This is an area I have not mastered yet. If someone is physically attacking me, I'm going to resist. We're not supposed to resist any evil person. That's very hard to do, and it's going to get a lot worse. And then we're supposed to do good to the person that is attacking us. Nope, I have not reached this point yet. I'm still in the works here, But when Jesus was abused, he did not return abuse. I'm not Jesus. I have not reached that point yet. And I admit it, I have not reached that point yet. But we should conform to his example by not repaying abuse for abuse. I can do that, including the abuse of betrayal. I can do that. I just don't want nothing to do with them. Believers are to do good even to those who harm them. I could possibly take a few licks without fighting back. I could even forgive someone for their transgressions. I have no problem praying for them. But to do good to them afterwards is beyond me at this time. I want the person as far away from me as possible. It's hard to do good to them when you don't even want to be in their presence. That's me right now. I'm just giving you the scripture what we're supposed to do, not what I'm doing. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Another powerful key to overcoming the bitterness of betrayal is our God-given ability to forgive the betrayer. I have no problem with that. The word forgiveness includes the word give. When we choose to forgive someone, we actually give that person a gift. The freedom from personal retaliation. But you're also giving yourself a gift, a grudge-free life. Trading our bitterness and anger for the love of God is a wonderful, life-giving exchange. Jesus taught that loving our neighbor as ourselves should be proactive. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, is what he said. Without question, it is enormously difficult to forgive a person who betrayed our trust. It's only possible with God. We can't do it on our own. Only those who have experienced God's love can understand what it means to be loved unconditionally and undeservedly. In the way the world is getting today, we're getting close to the end. We're getting close to the image of the beast being established and all. It's going to be hard to trust anybody, even family member. The scripture says family is going to betray us and turn us over to the politically correct system. We're in the days where trust is going to be very, very hard for any of us to do. But we still should try to do it. That's what the scripture says. I know what the scripture says, and I ain't there yet myself. So, I'm just telling you what the scripture says we're supposed to do, not what, you don't do what I do. Do what the scripture is supposed to do. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there on trust and betrayal. And it's something that in the world we live in right now is going to be very, very difficult. I just come in out of the rain a minute ago and my hair's a mess. But anyway, I'm going to shut this down and go to something else. God bless you all.